My name is Lee Medoff, and I'm the head distiller and founder of Bull Run Distillery here in Portland, Oregon. Growing up for a long time, there was a sign right at the county line that said, "Welcome to Portland, 300,000 people." Then it was like, "Welcome to Portland, 350,000 people." "Welcome to Portland, 400,000 people." Well, finally, the sign went away. The population has grown so much since I've been here. I think there's probably in the metro area close to 3 million people or something, and there's only 4 million people in the state of Oregon. So it's seen a lot of changes happening, and the city itself has grown by leaps and bounds. But for me, what's been great is seeing that the economy is based on a lot of craft. I used to be a brewer here in Portland, and I saw that huge boom. I got into winemaking as well, and now finally distillation. And Portland's a great place to be if you like to drink beverages and make beverages, for sure. We have a very unique water source, and it's called the Bull Run Watershed. It's protected by an act of Congress back in the 1870s, because people were getting their water out of the Willamette at the time. And you think of the growth of industrialization and the growth of farming and everything was happening here. It was not a good water source to have. And so the city fathers found this beautiful, pristine lake up in the Cascade Mountains. And it's been that way since the 1870s. But it flows to Portland. It used to actually flow, maybe still some of it is through wooden pipes, by gravity to the city of Portland. But the water source is very pristine. There's nothing else added to it. And it's very, very soft water. And it's really great to use for not only brewing, but also for spirits. A lot of people don't realize that half of what's in the bottle of alcohol is water itself. And water is used to cut the product down from its distillation strength to its barrel strength to eventually its bottle strength. Portland water source from Bull Run is very, very soft water. And it adds a much more kind of creamier, oilier, softer, rounder mouthfeel to your finished product compared to some place that has like hard calcified limestone aquifers or something where it's going to be much more sharper edge, a little more lean sort of character to it. And so I encourage people to always, try and do an experiment, try to get a bourbon from, say, Kentucky and one from Portland and see what they're like. And so it's really great to have a great water source to be able to use that. I started off as a brewer to begin with, and then as a lot of brewers that get into it, they're really into about fermentation, become fermentation geeks. And what's the next thing to ferment or turn into alcohol? Well, wine. And so I thought I'd see how winemaking went. And I had a great opportunity to work with a friend of mine who was actually living in Europe at the time, and he was working at a winery in France. And so I went over as well and worked in this winery, and I learned quite a bit there. And what was interesting is that their use of oak was more of an accompaniment to the fruit. But what we were getting off of that was seeing how it enhanced the product. It added a different layer to the wine, made it more complex, more round, more soft, more subtle, all these variations. And so it gave me my first indication of how important barrels are and what wood can do. That started a lot of things off for us as far as the barrel finishing. And so we're taking all of our whiskeys, from our malt whiskeys to our corn whiskeys, the whole gamut, and aging them in different types of barrels. I have tequila barrels, brandy barrels, cognac barrels, Madeira barrels. I mean, I'm getting some really unique barrels from local other producers. Pretty much anything I get my hands on, I try to put our whiskeys in that. And what that does, it gives the consumer a really unique product. It's not another straight whiskey, it's not another conservative malt whiskey. It's something completely new and different by using different types of barrels. The two whiskeys that I'm offering for RackHouse, it's going to be a good contrast. It's going to show what barrel finishing can do or how important barrels are. It's going to be two of our American whiskey. Now, our American whiskey, I call it American whiskey because it's almost entirely made from corn. It's 96% corn is in the grain bill. The original American whiskey that we have is probably our lightest and sweetest product that we offer. It has very little barrel character to it. In fact, it's aged and used cooperage to begin with in its life. And so it's lighter, sweeter, and the way I would describe it, if you like Irish or Canadian whiskey, stylistically it's in that direction. And so everything else we do here at Bull Run is very heavily barrel influenced. And so this is our offering for people who don't want to have that intense barrel character to it. But we take that same whiskey, because it has very little barrel character of its own, and we put that into French oak barrels. And alcohol is a solvent, and when you put it into the barrel, it's going to leach out the colors and flavors and character of what was in that barrel before. And almost like magic, it transforms that product into something completely new and different. And so when you look at them side by side, they're first of all, you notice they're completely different colors. One's a nice straw color, the original American is a straw color. The Pinot Noir finish is a really deep garnet color as well. The sweetness that you have in that regular American whiskey, when you try the Pinot Noir finish, it's going to be much drier. There's almost like a nice, it finishes almost like a dry red wine tannins that you have in that. Of course, some of the fruit is being brought out of that, but what's kind of very, very interesting and very exciting for me is that barrel finishing, how you can transform the same product by putting it in a different type of barrel and get a completely different effect out of it. And so for me, it's very exciting to have almost limitless possibilities through barrel finishing, of changing a product. Well, I hope you all sign up to RackHouse Whiskey Club to experience our whiskeys. As I mentioned, what we're going to have is a great kind of combination of two whiskeys that are going to be not only delicious to drink, but have great educational aspect to it as well. Enjoy.